So I have a question for you, Michael.
Yeah.
How does Mario not get, like, super wet? Like, look at him. Wouldn't he be soaking by now?
I think that's
Have
actually...
you ever thought of that?
I think that's actually a detail they added to 3D World. It's like after you go in the water, like your pants get like shiny because they're wet.
That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
You'd think they'd be like ruined, like his overalls were just ruined by now.
Yeah.
With all the flames and water and such. It's almost like this game isn't that realistic. Oh, hi, giant floating eyeball. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah. So anyway, I was kind of talking the last part about Silent Hill and stuff. And...
Have you ever played a Silent Hill game?
Yes. And I was getting into that before I was so rudely interrupted by my kid brother.
Oh, my feelings.
Dem feels though. So basically, Ethan, he had like the first 3 at his dorm. So like, I watched him play the first one, and then I played the second and third one. And he sort of helped me through it, and I mean, like I can certainly understand their appeal. I mean, like they've got a nice atmosphere. I mean, like. I think it's certainly less cheesy and schlocky than Resident Evil.
Schlocky?
Yeah, Resident Evil is just schlock. It is.
What is schlock?
Cheesy schlock. It's just schlock. It's just a word that people...
It's just... You can't define a word by saying, like, the word itself.
Right, fine, I'll look it up. I know, it's one of those words where you know
Schlock.
what it means and you can use it in a sentence. It's like arbitrary in that way.
It's also made up.
Okay, it is not.
Hey, Michael, you know what you are?
Alright, so schlock.
You're really gorfy. You know what I mean?
Schlock.
Like, as in you're...
It is slang, but it's cheap or inferior goods or material trash. They peddle their schlock to willing tourists. What's the deal here? What's up with you?
Fucking schlock. Holy shit.
What? I don't get what's so funny here.
Schlock.
Is it just the word itself, or is it me?
It's a mixture. Just you and your fucking vocabulary. Enough with these doldrums in the conversation. I'm sick of this schlock. What were you talking about? Oh yeah, Resident Evil. That's right.
Yeah, so like I have not played them,
I'm using
and
that
I have
word
no
for
interest
for like everything now. It's amazing.
I have not played one, and I have no interest in... Like, I've watched the SGB play, like, Resident Evil 3, and I don't know, like, just the thought of tank controls with fixed camera angles, like, bugs me. You know what I mean? Because, like, with something like Metroid Prime on GameCube, like, you can at least strafe if you hold the L button. You can free aim. The camera's always over your shoulder or first person, so, like, you always know where you're going. But with fixed camera angles, I don't know, it just sounds really awkward and bad. With like Silent Hill 2 and 3, you can swap to just a regular analog control and it's much better. So at least it has that, you know. But I don't know. I mean, like, so the point is, I understand their appeal and I understand why people like it, even if it's not necessarily my particular cup of tea, because I'm not one for survival horror myself.
I just think it's a whole lot of schlock.
But
I'm sorry.
But point is that Ethan just absolutely detests Silent Hill Downpour, Silent Hill Homecoming, Silent Hill Shattered, and especially Shattered Memories, because you know it's one of those games that absolutely is the original, so to speak. And I hate using that word. I'm probably gonna edit it out. You guys know what I said there.
Yeah, it's well,
it's.
I've never played one, but what I know about it is that it's supposed to be more psychologically frightening than like, oh, there's a jump scare.
I didn't even think it's.
Well, that might.
I don't
that
think
could
it's
be
all
because
that scary at all.
I think that could be because.
I mean, I know that they were like
maybe as a kid, I don't know.
I know that they were released in like the early 2000s, And I'm not saying that like the new ones are scarier or anything. Like, I don't know. I just don't find survival horror scary.
Well,
I just find it stiff and awkward.
Well, lots of people do like it, so I guess that's just a matter of preference.
Yes, and I admit that it's taste. Like,
yeah, because I think that the big reason about that is survival horror is about limiting you, right?
Yeah, I hate that.
That's something that.
Why would I want to play this game where I can only move like a tank?
Yeah.
Where all the graphics are pre-rendered,
but
where there's fucking fog everywhere, so you can't see a goddamn thing.
But that's just inherent to the genre. That's the help.
Yeah.
The feeling of helplessness.
I mean, like, I'd rather play something with good control.
God damn it, I'm terrible with the bullies. Can I just say that?
Yeah. I like how they brought them back in 3D World. That was cool.
Did they?
Yeah.
I barely remember that game, I'm not gonna lie.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know. I thought it was... I felt like it was the same vein as the new Super Mario Brothers. But a lot of people seem to think it's...
I mean...
like, great, so... I don't know.
I would agree that... I mean, like, we might as well... Well, actually... I know, like, part of me wants to save that for when I do, like, a second Mario marathon, but another part of me wants to, like...
No!
I guess I would agree with you to a certain extent that the gameplay in the 3D and the 2D games is a little too similar now.
Yeah.
So, like, before it was kind of special, like, you played 2D Mario for one sort of gameplay style, and you played 3D Mario for this more collectathon style.
Yeah.
Like, either way, you were going through levels, collecting coins, and using power-ups, but there was kind of a difference between the two, so, like, there was a reason for both to exist. Now, it's just like, okay, we've got 3D Land and 3D World where we have this classic Mario gameplay. Why do we need New Super Mario Brothers, the 2D games, anymore? And why do we have a 2D game and a 3D game on both the 3DS and the Wii U? Shouldn't we put, like, the 2D games on the handheld and put the big fancy 3D ones on the home console that has better graphics? And, like, why are we doing both of them if they're the same thing? I mean, that's kind of where I stand, like...
I feel like that's not a problem. Not much of a problem. What I think is the problem is that they're all very similar. Like there's... I think what it is like, if you looked at the new Super Mario Bros. For the DS, like, way back.
Yeah.
When that was, like, the first one of those types of games.
I mean, like, back in 2006 or 7 when that game came out... No, it was 2005. 2004, like, a couple years after the DS came out. It's just, like, at that time, like, Nintendo wasn't, you know, like, making new classic Mario games or, you know, classic 2D side-scrollers anymore. Because, like, they didn't really have an incentive to, because... And, like, the late 90s, early 2000s, it was all about jumping to 3D, you know? Like, people didn't want to play 2D anymore. They wanted to see 3D, because that was new and interesting. And...
It was radical.
Yeah, and then, like, after a while, that gimmick, so to speak, sort of wore out its welcome, and people started...
People wanted 2D again, because it was retro.
And nostalgic.
Yeah.
Which is why something like Mega
That's
Man
why
9 did
like
really well.
millions of new, like, super tough as nails 2D retro platformers are coming out nowadays.
Yeah. And,
Sorry.
So that's why New Super Mario Brothers was special back then, because it was just like, oh, we get to play a new classic-style 2D Mario game. Then the Wii one came out and was just like, okay, why did they make one for the Wii?
And then, like, there's the new Super Mario Bros. Wii U. And to me, 3D Land and 3D World felt like the same thing, but a lot of people, I don't know, are reacting well to it, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean...
Fucking...
I like 3D World a lot. I just feel like, you know, like, if we're gonna make the 2D games and 3D games the same thing, you might as well just do one or the other.
Yeah.
You know, and to be honest, I prefer if they just stuck to 3D.
Yeah, I think...
Because, honestly, 3D World had more variety in the level design and better sounding, you know, arranged music than, you know, New Super Mario Brothers U did.
That's true. That's true. But, well, I guess... Here's my thing. A lot of people, like, always group it together like modern Mario isn't very good. It's not very interesting. I know a specific person that we've actually mentioned on this show that feels very much that way.
Is that undisclosed person?
No, it's not undisclosed person. It's somebody I don't know personally. But anyway, it's just the games that I like that are new and modern.
Is it a grump?
Listen. Don't worry about it. Okay, you have games like, you have the Mario 64, right?
Yeah. You have your Collectathon Marios.
Yeah, then you have Super Mario Sunshine.
Right.
Then you have Super Mario Galaxy.
Before we start to get into this, we should probably start a new part.
Okay.
So you guys will have to wait till the next part to hear us.
To hear our wonderful conversations.
See you guys next time.